Hi everyone, Randy Littleson, Chief Marketing Officer at Conga, and today I'm very excited to be joined by Rosa. Rob is the Senior VP of Global Services Sales at Extreme Networks. And today we're going to be talking about digital transformation of service models. So Rob, let's start with this. Why is it imperative to digitally transform service models?
Yeah, Randy, thanks for asking and thanks for having me. In the forefront of everything, as companies transform themselves from an Extreme Networks, which is a hardware company, to a born in the cloud type company, Extreme has to, like any other company, transform its models. And when I say that, I look at a B2C version versus a B2B model. Today, we sell to businesses all over the world, but those businesses are also looking for a consumer-centric approach to buying technology. And the same applies from a services perspective. They no longer want to buy speeds and feeds or, hey, I want to buy break fix from a services perspective. They want to buy a business outcome tied to that transformation. And whether that's uptime, whether that's assurance services, all of those things are playing into the current world that we're in, and they continue to transform. It's not even on a yearly basis anymore. It's on a monthly basis. And at Extreme, again, as we've moved from, hey, we're a box company to a cloud company, that transformation has happened even more rapidly, where our customers are asking us for that capability and providing that capability.
So as you think of taking on one of these initiatives, what best practices would you recommend? And I'm also interested, since you've talked about service models, what are the imperatives and importance of tying the service model transformation to product transformation efforts?
All right. So Randy, thank you for the question. So from a best practices perspective, there's really probably two key things that I tend to look at. And we saw this spectacularly done across our implementation of Conga at Extreme. Project management / change management. I know they're kind of separate, but in my mind, I look at them both as, hey, we need someone to run this project over the top, make sure they're over communicating to the bipartisan population of folks that are going to get involved in the project. And then change management. As a company, change management is key. We do everything through our channel. So we're a two-tier distribution company. So you'll see we have to manage not only our internal partners, but our external partners as well. And again, change management's not a simple thing, but again, it's one of those things that's required. And then buy-in from all participants. I'm part of the service organization at Extreme, but there's operations, there's IT, there's order management, there's supply chain, you name it. There's all sorts of departments that have a play in sort of these large projects, and you need to have them along the journey. They need to participate. If they're not participating, you get to the end and say, okay, we've designed this great system, and someone from another group raises their hand and said, well, we weren't part of it. We're not sure this works for us. Why did you do this? So to me, getting that buy-off up front allows the project to smoothly go. And again, when we did Conga, I will say we probably had at least 15 cross-functional organizations in the room with us 90% of the time saying, thumbs up, go ahead, Rob. We agree with that approach. That will work for us. There's no issues. It's not going to slow my part of the business down. And then when we think about the transformation of product and what that means to services, really the biggest thing that we're seeing, again, I spent a lot of years in the service maintenance business for technology. Break fix, everything breaks, you fix it, you react to a broken switch, a broken AP. As a company, as we move to the cloud, we're starting to leverage our AI and ML. When I say that, we're looking at anomalies. We're looking at things happening to those devices before the customer even knows it's happening. Give you an example. We can detect that maybe the fan on a switch is slowing down or it's running hot. We know that in that particular case, that switch is probably going to fail, meaning it's going to overheat and it's going to shut itself down. Well, through AI and ML that we've implemented through our cloud solution, we can actually predict that, notify the customer, hey, we see an issue with that particular device, and send them a new replacement box before they have an outage. And to me, that is probably the most important thing that I'm hearing from customers. And when I say that, I've had some interesting conversations with a lot of different verticals, a lot of different customers, but the network has become even more critical to customers than ever before. So you say, oh, well, the Wi-Fi went down. No, customers don't have Ethernet cords anymore. It's Wi-Fi. The network is Wi-Fi. So things like that are impactful to business. So we're seeing it. We're leveraging our AI ML through our cloud to drive a different service model that's more predictive than reactive.
So, Robbie, you've done a nice job describing the transformation that you guys have been on. Let's talk about this from a systems capabilities. What enabling system level capabilities have been essential to power the transformation that you guys have been on?
Yeah, Randy, that's a great question. And we're looking at it from two sides. One, internally, in terms of what we need from an internal perspective to support our customers, but also externally, what do our customers need to support themselves? Because again, we believe self-service is the future for all things. Customers want to self-serve. They don't necessarily want to talk to a sales guy. They want to just be able to, hey, I want to go in and change my widget. I want to be able to update something. They wanted that. So from an internal perspective, we continue to look at multiple angles of systems. One, we obviously continue to use Conga. We're looking at Conga for other capabilities. From a service and subscription perspective, Conga is what we use. And we're looking at other ways to reach our end customer and give more automation and simplification to them. But we're also a Salesforce shop. We do a lot of things inside Salesforce. But I'm telling you, we're looking at all sorts of. We're looking at performance type tools. We're looking at a set sail type company that looks at performance management. We're using a CSM tool today. We just launched Tango for customer success, which is a newly formed organization in Extreme around the adoption. As you move to a cloud, a SaaS company, how do we make sure our customers are happy and adopting the technology? And then when we flip it to the outside world, one of the things that we've lacked and we've built different widgets and tools to support has been our capability to our customers and to our partners. How do they interact back with Extreme? Is it always through an email, or is it I have to pick up the phone? We are driving greater capabilities through multiple tools right now to say, hey, how do we allow our customers to go out and use our technology, buy our technology? How do we get our partners the same capability? Again, we want to scale through our channel organization. So we have to give them the tools to scale. If they have to come back to us every time to say, hey, I need approval, I need this, I need that, there's no way of scaling. It's always a human intervention, and that just slows down the scaling. So we're looking at all different forms of applications to say, how do we give them more power to go drive, go hunt, and go find more business for Extreme, and let Extreme not get in the way? Because if we get in the way, we slow things down. We get the big company in the way, and we get in the way, and the customer says, okay, well, you slowed it down, or the partner says, you're getting in my way, let me drive it. Those are the things that we're doing today. But I can tell you, there's at least 6 or 7 different activities right now in the company around different applications and tools to say, how do we get better and how do we get more predictive in a self-service environment to that end customer or to our partner?
Okay, so we've talked about this transformation that you've on. We've talked about the importance of people. We've talked about the importance of systems. How about process? What best practices would you recommend around process improvement?
Yeah, Randy, we probably tend to skip over process a lot because we tend to think the way we've been doing business is the right way to be doing the business. So when we think about, hey, we're going to implement a great new system, well, great. We got this process we used for the last 10 years. Let's just and we take an old process and apply it to a new technology. It does not work. I can tell you, as a part of, and I'll use Conga as my example because it's still, even though it was 3 years ago when we implemented it and we've done other things, we spent a lot of time in rooms talking about the as is. What is it we're doing today? We had individual contributors in the room talking about how they do a service renewal, how they process a subscription renewal, what are the nuances. And then we looked at the capabilities of Conga and said, well, wait a second, what makes sense versus what we're doing? And a lot of times what we found out is the old process didn't align to the capability that we could get out of Conga. So for us, it was like, hey, we're going to blow up that process. We're going to rewrite it. And as a part of rewriting it, we're going to become more efficient and effective with it. And the teams look at it and say, hey, look, that makes more sense than the way we were doing it. We were just doing it the old way because that was the old way. So for us, we spent a good amount of time with Conga, with our value-added partner, going through the models, going through different scenarios to say, how does the process work go, and where should we make enhancements, again, to make it better, more efficient, and productive for our people. And we've had, I will say, we've had a lot of great success through all the enhancements and programs that we've implemented with Conga, and we continue to expand that capability as well.
So as you've outlined, service renewals are now critical to optimizing customer lifetime value. What best practices would you recommend to organizations around optimizing service renewals?
So in the world that we live in today, Randy, I see a couple things. I'm going to take it from two angles. I have traditional maintenance, break fix on switches and APs, but now as Extreme's moved to the cloud, we also have subscriptions. So obviously a customer has a network for a long time, so they're going to continue to buy maintenance on those devices for as long as they can for the life of that product. But on the subscription side, if the customer doesn't see the value in that subscription, they may not renew it in 12 months. So what digital touch points are we making? So we've implemented customer success to give a digital journey along the path of, hey, did you know, you can use this feature, that functionality. But for me, the one thing that I get excited about, and we leverage the capability inside of Conga, the auto quote generating of quotes. So we generate our quotes 120 days in advance, thanks to Conga. We get them in the hands of the customer early enough so that we can have the conversations. We're not showing up 2 days before an expiration of a contract saying, hey, it's your expiration, where's your PO? No, we're doing it almost 4 months in advance so that we can get ahead of, hey, the customer has some problems. Hey, the customer needs something else. The customer wants to look at other capabilities that we can deliver. And through the automated quoting process that we use in Conga, that gives my renewal team, which is a sales team, the ability to be proactive versus, hey, I'm just going to put my head down and bang on keys and create renewal quotes versus the renewal quote's there. I can hand it to the customer and I can start having the conversation on day one. We didn't have that capability before Conga. So that has freed up time for our folks, sales folks, to have that conversation. And then in the low end, we also have used Conga to deliver a end-to-end automated solution that says, hey, it's too small of a deal to get a distributor or a partner to really pay attention. There's not enough margin in it. And even for internally Extreme, there's not enough resources for me to cover all that low end. So we've leveraged Conga to automate the whole end-to-end where the customer can get a quote from us and click to purchase without any involvement from me, the distributor, or the channel partner if they want. And that has freed up even more productivity for us. And to me, we continue to drive those capabilities with Conga, and it's been phenomenal for us. It's one of the things that I stand up and you guys ask me, I will tell you it 100 times over. This is one of the things that it's the best thing we've done. It has made our lives easier. And if you talk to some of my sales folks, they would tell you that as well.
Rob, thank you for the insights. Thank you for joining us. We invite you to learn more at conga.com.